Where's the music? Do you guys hear the music?
No.
Negative.
No.
Oh, I know where the music is. Okay. Apologies, folks. Usually there's a little bit of music, but the hard drive that music is on is down. And so there's not going to be
this is the one in the enclosure. Got it.
Yeah, yeah. This is I have 2 hard drives in an enclosure. Tangent, real quick. And that enclosure just recently failed. So I got a new one, and it looks like when the enclosure failed, it took the hard drive with my Dropbox with it. So I ordered a new hard drive. It's coming tomorrow. So that's why no music sting. I apologize. We'll get that. I didn't even think of. I'm surprised OBS didn't say, "Hey, where's your thing?" Apologies. So hi everybody, welcome back. We took a couple weeks off because we have a rule here at the Space Game Junkie podcast. If 2 or more hosts cannot make it, and we do not have a guest, we postpone because we don't want people to miss out if they don't have to. We're supposed to have fun here. We want everyone to join in on the fun. Hey, Chris. And so last couple of weeks, for various reasons, nothing serious, mind you, but nothing serious. We had a couple people had to bow out. So that's why we missed a couple of weeks. So apologies for that. It happens every now and again. Since we do this live, we can't build a runway of future episodes, or anything like that. So apologies for being off for a couple of weeks. We are back, and we're going to be talking about a topic that we came up on our previous episode. We're going to talk about portable hardware. Now, we're not going to talk about PC, computer hardware, because there are literally 1 trillion configurations out there. And there's no way we can, competently tell you what computer to build or what computer. That's not what we do. We don't have the skills for that. We don't have the resources for that. There are other channels. There are other places you can get that research. If you want to build a good computer, or just buy one outright, there are good. Spaz, what's the company you like? Remind me.
For desktop,
for a pre-built PC, yes. What's the company? I forgot the name.
The one I've been going with for the last several years is Skytech.
Yeah. Okay. Skytech. Thank you. I could not remember the name. Yeah. So there are places where you can get all the research. We're not talking about that. We're talking about one of my favorite things. Portable gaming. Now, friends, I'm going to tell you, I've been a portable gamer since the 80s. And you might be like, wait a minute. There were portable games in the 80s? Yes, there were. Hang on, let me bring it up. Back in 1979 or 80, I think it was, the Vectrex. No, it was 82? I thought it was earlier than that. In 82, I guess, the Vectrex portable console debuted. Here's the beautiful thing right here. It weighed several pounds, but it was a small portable, basically a television. It had a built-in Asteroids game and a cartridge slot, and it had maybe the first video game with text-to-speech in 83 or 84 called Spike. And it was an amazing console. I sold it and all my games in the 90s for about $250. I still regret it to this day. But the thing is, I don't know where I would put this if I had one today. I don't know where I would put it if I had one. Where would it go? And if I bought one, my wife would probably skewer me. So that's one of my big gaming regrets back right there, is not keeping my Vectrex. But I've been gaming portable gaming for a very long time. Oh yeah, I mean, Texas Instruments didn't make, Chris, any portable games as far as I know. But yeah, there were, Texas Instruments computers back then. I didn't have one. I went straight from, I was a Radio Shack fanboy back in the day. So one of the topics we came up with on our roundtable last week was portable gaming hardware. The best hardware to play games on the go. And I'm something of a portable gaming nut. I follow several Facebook and Reddit groups about portable gaming. I read even though I don't buy all these devices, I read all the reviews. I see what people say about portable gaming. And there are a lot of great devices out there, whether you want to play, Texas Instruments made single LCD game devices. Oh, Yes, of course they did. Like the Froggers and the Pac-Mans and those little. Okay, yes, of course I had those, and like Tiger Electron. I also had the watches. They're little portable. They were little game watches. You could play Pac-Man on your wrist. Back then, it was so primitive comparatively, but back then it was like, oh my god, I could play Pac-Man wherever I go. Yeah, that was amazing stuff. But we're talking about multi-game devices. And Julie, before we get started, we know the Switch exists, but that's its own thing. We don't need to talk about the Switch because it's its own ecosystem. If you want to play Switch games, you buy a Switch. That's really all you have to say about the Switch. I mean, what else can you say? Yeah, I had several of the Game & Watch games, Ritu. Several of those. Those were so cool. Oh my god. You know, one of the reasons I didn't get good grades at school is because I'd sneak those in the backpack. back in elementary school, I'd be playing Frogger and crap or whatever on my little Game & Watch. Oh my god. So yeah, I've been a portable gaming nut most of my life. And so I've owned a lot of devices over the years. Everything from pretty much almost all the Game Boys to the DS, to the Game Gear, to the Lynx, Atari Lynx, several of the Game & Watches. I never had the Nomad or the portable TurboGrafx one. There's some I never had, but I had a lot. So while I'm not an expert in handheld gaming, I'm very well versed in handheld gaming. And so I thought we'd talk about the best way to game on the go. So we're going to talk about, I'm showing Trello here because I went through a lot of sources. I just wanted you to see I went through a lot of sources. I haven't used all these devices myself, but I've talked to a lot of people who have. I've read a lot of articles. So we're going to basically kind of go anecdotally here. But a lot of these devices not only play like Windows games and whatnot, or Android games, they also do emulation. Now, some notes about emulation. We're going to talk about emulation next week, more specifically. But we're only going to talk about the emulators themselves and how they work and whatnot, and the fascinating things about that. We're not going to talk about where to get ROMs and shit like that. We're not going to talk about that. When we talk about emulation, we talk about you ripping your game yourself and putting it on your device. And there are ways to do that. We're not going to tell you how. We're not going to talk about it, but we're talking about legally emulating your own games. So when we talk about emulation, that's the angle we're taking. You know, so don't ask us where to get a ROM or any of that nonsense. All right. We're talking about legally emulating your own games when we talk about emulation next week. But these are also devices that could play a lot of emulated games. So we're going to talk.
Now, the reason for our disclaimer, I need to add here, is specifically because even just the act of emulation can still get you into legal issues because of the rights holders not wanting to let that sort of thing happen.
Yeah.
So it's a legal gray area for us if we are not careful, and therefore we have to throw that out there before we even have a discussion.
Like, we're not going to talk about emulating current hardware. Like, we're not going to talk about emulating a Switch, for example. We're not going to talk about that. But discontinued hardware, it's a little easier to talk about, you know? Like, you talk about emulating an Atari 2600 because they don't make those anymore. So that's what we're going to be talking about with emulation next week. But this week, we wanted to kind of give you a rundown. And we're not talking about laptops. Laptops are their own thing. We're talking about like portable devices like you can put in a bag. Or you can put in a pocket or whatever. You know, we're talking about gaming specific portable devices. That's what we're talking about today. And yes, there are gaming laptops, but there are a zillion of those. If you want us to do a thing about laptops, eventually we can do that. But we're talking today about handheld devices, like a Game Boy or a Switch or a DS or a PlayStation Vita or that kind of thing. Because those are better for portable gaming than a laptop. Laptops are great, but they're big, they're clunky, they don't have the best battery life. You gotta, yes.
I think the term we need to go with here is purpose-built.
Purpose-built, yes. Purpose-built handhelds. Purpose-built specific gaming handhelds. So I wanted to start with Windows. There are two Windows or PC, basically, handhelds that a lot of people love and talk about. The first, of course, is the Steam Deck. This does run on Linux, of course. But from what I understand, you could put Windows on it and dual boot the thing. That's kind of fascinating. Now, a lot of people love the Steam Deck. You guys do have mobile phones. Oh, for God's sakes. We're not talking about phones. Yes, you can game on your phone. I don't like gaming on my phone. Do you guys? Let me ask you guys a thing. Who here has iOS devices? First of all, does anyone here have an iOS device? No? We're all Android? Really?
Sounds like it.
Wow. Okay. Do you guys game on your Android phones at all?
No.
Okay.
Not recently.
Yeah, I don't really either.
Barely. Yeah. Barely ever. Yeah.
It's there's something about the screen size and like having to put controls on that tiny screen that just don't work for me. You know what I mean? It's just, I don't know why, but I know a lot of people do either play games on their phone or they get one of those, Jawbone controllers. You know what I'm talking about? The USB-C that plugs in. It's like a big Xbox controller for your phone. People love those things. But that is not what we're talking about. I mean, yeah, so basically we're not talking about phone gaming. I mean, you can play games on your phone, obviously, but that's not what we're talking about. We're talking about purpose-built devices like the Steam Deck. A lot of people love the Steam Deck. It is a great device. I almost got one until my wife was like, you have a desktop, a laptop, and a Switch? You don't need one of those. And I'm like, yeah, you're right. I did not need one. And I'm honestly glad I didn't get one because once I've seen them in a while, these things are fucking huge. You guys seen these things? They're so big. I barely call this portable. It's so big. Did you see that image of some guy playing it in a pool? Like, no, don't do that. They're like right there. No, it gives me anxiety. Yeah, but a lot of people love the Steam Deck. It's very well built. I have played on it. I have played one before, and it's not bad. The block. Have you guys tried one? Have you guys played a Steam Deck at all?
I have not.
Okay. I don't like the way the controllers are configured because it's kind of like it doesn't really have much curvature to it. It's more like a block. You're like holding a block. It's not very comfortable. But it's a nice device. It plays so much stuff. And they have an OLED one for like $700. They're really nice devices. There's probably going to be a second one at some point. But a lot of people love their Steam Deck. Apparently, not only can you put Windows on it, but you can put a ton of emulators on it and play just about anything. It's a very versatile device. But it is Linux-based, so while that is getting better, it does have some of its own headaches. Keep that in mind. Apparently, not every game works with a Steam Deck. And for developers, they have to be certified to really work well on a Steam Deck. And a lot of games are.
There are some that are listed as unsupported, but still actually work. It's just that they're not officially supported.
Yeah. So it's kind of, and they might have like some weird issues with the interface and whatnot. I think the best thing about the Steam Deck, honestly, is it's got those two trackpads on them for mouse gaming. I'm not saying anything's wrong with Linux. It's just not every game, like, as of yet supports Linux. You're not going to be able to play every game on Steam on this thing. That's not what I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. For the most part, it's a terrific device. Everyone I know who has one really likes it. And they're, a little expensive, but, if you really want to take your Steam library on the go, this is one of the good ways. The other really good way that people love is this thing. The Asus ROG, did you say ROG? Did you say ROG? Rogue? That's how you say that? Rogue? You can't just spell oh my god. Oh my god, really?
Well, it takes less time than actually say each letter.
No, I know, you're right, you're not wrong. It just drives, that kind of thing drives me crazy. That kind of thing drives me absolutely crazy. So this, the Rogue Ally X, does run Windows, and it does run Steam. It also runs Game Pass. A lot of people say this is an even better. I mean, it doesn't have the track. I don't think it has a trackpad. But a lot of people say this is a better device than the Steam Deck. Apparently, it's more versatile. It's more powerful. It's got better. It's got better hardware underneath. A lot of people love this thing, and people will swear that it's a better device than the Steam Deck. So, if you don't want to go the Linux route, there is an actually great. There's an actually great Windows-based handheld that will play just about anything. Like, apparently on the Steam Deck, it is tough to get stuff from Epic running. It is tough to get stuff from GOG running. But these guys made a device that specifically runs all that stuff. They say it right here. So, if someone held a gun to my head and said, pick one, I'd probably pick this one. Because I'm more familiar with Windows, and I just think it looks like a more comfortable device to play, honestly. And I think it's probably a bit more versatile than the Steam Deck. Though a lot of people do love the Steam Deck. I think if I had the money to burn and I needed one of these things, this would be the one I would get. Because it looks absolutely lovely. Now we're going to move on to Android devices. And I got as Chris points out, I got an Android tablet myself. I wasn't really into Android gaming until I got this tablet. And oh my God, the Android gaming ecosphere is really impressive. Do you know how many PC ports are on Android that are really well done? Like Wreckfest and like several of the Total War games, for example, that are like on Android and run great. And there's like so much you could play on Android. It is ridiculous. Hey, Thorsten, are you here? Is he here in the
Negative.
chat? Okay. Just saying hi, chat.
Can I just say
No. He's out for today.
Oh, he's out, period, for today?
Yeah.
Oh, fuck. If I had known
For the show.
Can I just say in regard to Android?
Yes.
On the other show we were on, and I was on, and still am. We started back in 2008, and when we hit show 100, and we had a lot of the founding members there, one of the people pipes up and says, "Well, it's go mobile or go home." And shortly thereafter, all the free-to-play games, and he was talking about Android, and then all the Google Pixels and all the rest got to be the thing. But then all the free-to-play games kind of like put a crimp in it for me and all the rest. But now I think it's nice to see it come back full swing with all the mobile choices there are. Yeah. Because I've aside from the fact that the parrot behind me now knows how to get out of her cage and is likely to swoop down and kill me if I don't give her the computer back. I hate being tied down, even though I work from home. And I'd like to be able to go downstairs and sit in the living room. And the thing is, I've noticed it's kind of come full swing, but I have noticed one of the reasons I quit playing Android games, and I used to be real big into the little Android tablets. I had the Amazon version for a long time. I had the Google version for a long time. I still got it someplace. But then it was the free-to-play things, that just kind of soured it for me. And then when it came out to the purpose-built devices, that's when I said, I'm skipping to a purpose-built device. But the only reason I haven't gone to a Steam Deck is because in order to get a 1 terabyte Steam Deck, it starts to approach the price of a kind of a lower to mid-end range computer.
A mid-range desktop, yeah. Yeah.
And the thing is, and I will say in its favor, and this is the only time I'll mention Switch. The new Switch 2, aside from the fact that now it's having battery problems and they may explode, there is no such thing as anything above a 256 gigabyte micro SD Express so far.
What?
That I have found. It has to have a special Express micro SD card, so you can't take your 2 terabyte card like I have in my Switch and stick it in the new one.
Are you fucking kidding? Excuse my language. Are you fucking kidding me?
I am not, and it pissed me off.
Oh,
and
my God.
This is why I think, and I saved up for a year. Everybody said, give Julie Amazon. But this is why I say, now, even though it's expensive, even though it runs Linux, that Steam Deck starts to look good because I can get a 1 terabyte on that, and I can't get that on this new Steam 2.
Well, we haven't talked about it because it's not out yet, but there's a new Microsoft-backed Rogue Ally handheld coming out the end of the year that supports Xbox, which is insane. Like all of us handheld aficionados are like, why isn't Microsoft on a handheld? Sony did one, Nintendo's done several. Sony did several, obviously. Microsoft hasn't done one, and now they're partnering.
And here it is.
Now they're partnering with Asus here to make an Xbox-backed handheld that'll run. It'll run Xbox games over the cloud, apparently. But apparently, from all I've read, that works very well if you have a good connection. So you can not only play, PC games and everything and whatnot, you can play Xbox games on a portable device for legally the first time. That's astounding. I kind of want one. I don't need one. I'm not going to get one, but I want one. Oh my God, do I want one? But I'm not going to get one. So that's exciting. That's really super exciting that Xbox and Microsoft finally entering the handheld fray. Finally, after how long has the Xbox been around? Almost 25 years? Like came out in 2001, 2, something like that.
Thereabouts.
Yeah. So after all these years of not having any kind of handheld at all, finally we're going to get some kind of Xbox handheld. And that's amazing. But now we're going to move on to Android gaming because, as we were talking about, and Julie, I will say I've played a lot of free games now that I've gotten this tablet, and a lot of them are very good. A lot of them, if you read reviews and find the right ones that have decent monetization, like I got Plague Inc. the other day. I'd never played Plague Inc. and the base game is free. If you want to do certain things like unlock a really hard mode, you got to pay to unlock that. That's fine. But the base game, I played it for hours with no problem. It's getting a lot better in that regard.
Well, to me, it depends on not only how it's being done, but who does it. There are some Android companies that, and for the life of me, I can't remember it, but right now they're the people that have the IP for Disney. They do Dreamlight Valley.
Oh, yeah. None of that bullshit. No, none of that.
If I see their name on something, I won't touch it. But, I see how Standing Stone Games does their cash shop, and it's not intrusive at all. So yeah, you're right, but it's the kind of thing that I've encountered so many times that now leaves a sour taste in my mouth.
No, I believe you, but I'm saying if you do the research and do the curating, you can find some great free to play titles. Like when I first got this tablet, so many of the titles I download were free to play, and then I paid to unlock a lot of them. Like Strike Fighters, which kind of makes me sad, but Strike Fighters on mobile is very good. So I've paid to unlock several planes here and there because I want to support it. But you don't have to. You don't have to pay money to unlock the planes. It just takes longer. So I think that's fine. Uniwar is pay to progress? Oh. They charge for new units? Oh, that's not good. No, that's not. Ew, no. I mean, the aforementioned Plague Inc. They have some DLC, but it's like adding zombies, adding new modes, things you would normally pay for a DLC for, not a new unit or anything.
And there's also the original Steam version as well.
Yeah, of course.
Which was great.
Yeah, I got it on the tablet because I got it on Steam ages ago, and I'm like, oh, there's a new one out now called After, Inc. And I'm like, oh, are these I'm finding myself, like, if there's a tablet version, I'm finding myself drawing more to that because I can play that anywhere, which John Tiller games, Thorsten? I didn't know there were John Tiller games on the tablet. There is a Windows emulator that you can play some Windows games on a tablet. I've only gotten one game to work with that, but we can talk about that next week. So moving on to Android, for a purpose-built device, the Odin 2 is the one that everyone agrees is top of the top. It's not very expensive. It's only about $300. And apparently this can run GameCube, PS2, Dreamcast, emulators, all kinds of emulators, along with a lot of the Android games you can get from the Play Store. Everyone I know, like just about every thread, I have read on these devices, everyone just sings their praises to high heaven. Everyone who has one, it's like, this is the best Android. This is like the best and most powerful Android gaming device. Like whenever anyone asks, I want something that could play PlayStation 2 and GameCube games, this is the one just about everybody recommends, is the Odin 2. Apparently it's a delightful device. I just can't see, I've not stopped people talking its praises. And it's not very expensive. It's only about $300 for a pretty powerful device that can emulate apparently everything up to PS2 and below it. That's a lot of games right there. But also, Android games from the Play Store, of which there are so many. So yeah, this is a delightful device that everyone just loves. There's a couple of Odin 2s. There's like three Odin 2s. But the base one is the one, if you're going to get one. You can get a Max also. The Max is a little more expensive, but it's got a huge battery. Snapdragon 2nd Gen, 8 Gen 2. These are pretty powerful devices. We are going to talk about mobile games in a couple of episodes. I've been playing Star Traders Frontiers, right? Star Traders Frontiers?
Yeah.
Yeah. I've been playing. It's wonderful on the tablet. It is absolutely a delight on the tablet. It's almost kind of like it was made for the tablet. So Thorsten, if you wouldn't mind linking the John Tiller games you played on the tablet somewhere in Discord, that'd be great. The next device that a lot of people love is more for 4.3 gaming. This is if you want to play game like original Game Boy Color, maybe Game Boy Advance games. Or you can also play what is that? There's a game programming thing that lets you play these, that makes you make little web games. You can also download them. They're in 4.3. What the hell's it called? Anyway, I can't. Pico 8. Pico 8. Apparently, this is also a delightful device for Pico 8 games. Everyone who has this thing play Game Boy games on it all the time. Game Gear games, all those games with the old 4.3 screen. People love this thing, and it's got a apparently really good battery. Oh wow! And it's not expensive. It's only like $160, and it could play basically anything up to, I think, PS1. I think this thing can, which is pretty impressive. It's pretty small too. It's not big at all. Go away. But this is, and if you're wondering, all these will be listed on the spacegamejunkie.com website when the MP3, when the post goes up. So don't worry about writing all this down. It'll all be there for you. But apparently, if you're sticking more toward 4.3 games, apparently everyone loves this one. The next one is, again, more in the Game Boy realm. This is the 35 and Bernick 3G353V. Apparently, if you want to play Game Boy games, this is, or games like or on a Game Boy like device, this is the device to get. And I've asked people, like, are these sticks comfortable? Because look how low they are. look how low these sticks are. I would not think those would be comfortable, but people say it's surprising how comfortable these sticks are. So this looks like a lovely device again for 4.3 gaming. If you want something with more of a original Game Boy form factor, a lot of people love this one, and it can hold a lot of older games on it. Very easy to carry. Apparently very comfortable. It's got triggers in the back. Apparently 4 triggers in the back actually. So it's apparently a very comfortable device to play, even though it might not look it on first blush, but it's a very comfortable device to play, especially if you're looking for more of a original Game Boy form factor. And again, not very expensive, only about, it's on sale too right now. Because now China is shipping to the US again. Hey!
See how long that lasts.
Yeah, we'll see. But yeah, a lot of people love this one if you're looking for a Game Boy-like device with that kind of, form. Now, this is another device that people love, the Retroid Pocket 4. This can play, again, apparently anything up to the PS2 era very easily. Apparently, it's very comfortable. People absolutely love this thing. Everyone I've talked to has one. Just cannot stop singing its praises. It's apparently very comfortable to play. It's very good battery life. And it's very easy to put all your games, your legally owned games. I'm looking at the camera thinking the camera's on like I'm streaming. I'm looking at you people. Legally owned games on this thing. It apparently is a lovely device to play. Everyone I know, and I didn't just look up, the articles. I actually went on Facebook and went on Reddit and everything. So I actually talked to people who've owned these devices, and yeah, they just cannot stop singing their praises. They just absolutely love this thing. So this is probably one of the more popular and more powerful Retroid. I know, right? I know, David. I had an Atari Lynx. That thing ate 6 AA batteries. And I think on 6 AA batteries, it lasted 2 hours? Maybe?
Give or take.
Maybe?
Yeah.
Yeah, sounds something like that, yeah.
Yeah, and I loved it, though. I wish I still had I might still have my Lynx somewhere in a box. I love my Lynx. Oh, my God. What was that game on there? Warbirds, the World War I flying game? Oh, my God, I played the hell out of that. And they also
I still have my Sega Nomad.
Oh, I never had a Nomad. I wanted one because I wanted to play Starflight on the go. I wanted a Nomad, but at the time I couldn't afford one. And I already had a Game Gear, so I was like, I can't justify this. But I wanted a Nomad, so I'm jealous. I wanted a Nomad. Folks, if you don't know what we're talking about, the Nomad was a portable device that came out in the late 90s that could play Sega Genesis games at a fairly big device and a big old cartridge slot in the back, and you can play Genesis games on. And Genesis has a great library, let's truth be told. So, you get a portable. It was a portable Sega Genesis. Yeah, portable Sega Genesis, and apparently, I had a friend who had one. He loved it. I got to play a little bit on his. He loved it. But now you can play Sega Genesis on this thing, for example, or just about anything else. I was playing some Genesis games the other day. Because do you know how many flight sims they made for the Genesis? Like half a dozen.
I know.
They made a lot of flight sims for the Genesis. And I was like, oh, this is kind of fun. And it's like, oh, here's your password to save. Like, nope, I'm out. I don't have the patience for this.
What you do is you got your phone, you take a screenshot. Instead of having to write the thing down, you take a screenshot and then...
I suppose
you got something to reference.
That's true. Or on my tablet, I can just take a screenshot of the thing. That's a good point. Sure. Yeah, okay. I didn't even think of that. All right, because I was playing F-117, the Genesis version of F-117. I'm like, this is pretty damn nice. They made like several flight sims for the Genesis, believe it or not. They made LHX. There's an F-22 game, F-117. God, there's a few others.
I mean, I still have all my old Genesis cartridges. So if I really wanted to break out the Nomad and use them with it, I could. Not that I really need to.
Yeah, you don't need to anymore. You don't need to anymore. It's great having that original hardware. Like, I still love my 3DS. I still love my Vita. But being able to put all these games on one device and take that wherever you go, that's kind of what we're talking about here. That is joyful. That is just joyful. So apparently a lot of people love the Retroid Pocket 4. It is one of their maybe their most powerful, handheld. It can play a lot of stuff. Is it called the Mega Drive over there?
Yep.
So wait, what was I keep getting that confused with the Master System that came out before the Genesis.
Correct. If you think of the Sega Master System as the 1.0, the Genesis was the 2.0 of that era.
Right, but they call it the Mega Drive overseas. That's right. I forgot. I always get that confused because of the M. That's what throws me off is the M. Where am I? Okay, so the next one is a step down, or maybe a step up. The Retroid 5, I think, is a little more expensive. Yeah, Retroid 5 is also a very powerful, popular handheld among handheld aficionados. And a lot of people love this one also. Apparently, some people like this better than the 4, and some people prefer the 4. That's why I'm including them. But this one is a little more curved, as you can see. That one's curved, but this one's has a little different curvature on the top there. But a lot of people love this one also. And there's another Retroid here. So this is the Flip. This is a clamshell, and I love clamshell devices. Like when I got my first Game Boy Advance SP, I'm like, oh fuck, I can protect the screen and hold it. Oh, this is the life. So a lot of people love this one for its clamshell design, kind of like a DS. Apparently, it's very comfortable to hold for long sessions. It plays a lot of. I think it plays everything again up to the PS2 era, and the clamshell. The clamshell system apparently works very, very well. Apparently, this one is very, very comfortable. And yeah, if I was going to get one of these, I'd probably get the Flip because, again, I love the clamshell design. It's just a delight. Everyone I know who has one of these, like, absolutely loves it. Like, it doesn't have two screens like a DS or anything, but like for most gaming, it'll do you fine. And yeah, I just love a good clamshell design. So that one is terrific. Let's move on to the next one. So this one is from Neo, and this is called the Pocket S. This is their portable device. Kind of looks like a phone, but with built-in controls. But apparently a lot of people love this one. Apparently it's very powerful, very, very comfortable. Wait, Thorsten, do you have a Flip? Do you have one, or are you more interested in that kind of? Oh yeah, the Flip. Yeah, like I said, if I was going to buy one of these, the Retroid ones, it would probably be the Flip because I love that design of the Flip. I love the clamshell. But yeah, this one is apparently very powerful. I'm not sure about its comfort level. It doesn't look particularly comfortable. It's one of the new kids on the block for portable gaming, but apparently it's got like, you could get up to 1 terabyte in this thing. You want to get the hang on, I'll put the link in the chat for you. This is the US store. I don't know how you would buy it, but let me put the link here. And again, the links to all these are going to be on the post on spacegamejunkie.com. So, you don't have to write all this down or anything. But all the links will be included. Don't stress about that. So a lot of people love this one. They say it's very powerful, good battery life, runs just about everything. I'm not sure about its comfortability. It's only got these 2 nubs here on the back. I don't know how comfortable that would be on longer sessions. I don't, but it can hold a lot. You can get up to 16 gigs, 1 terabyte, which is a lot. That's twice as much as my tablet. And apparently the sticks are very comfortable from what people have said. The reviews for this one are very positive, and a lot of people love this one. So now we're going to move on to tablets. There are a couple of Android gaming tablets we're going to talk about today. The first is the Lenovo Legion Y700. This is the most recent version. I have the 2023 version of this, which is why I wanted to include it. Oh, okay, good. I have the 2023 version of this tablet. It's an 8.8-inch tablet. I can't gush enough about how great this thing is. I have the 2023 version, which is not as powerful as this one. I didn't get the 2024 version because it didn't have an SD card slot, but the 2025 version does. So if you want an SD card slot, you can get the 2023 or 2025 version. The 2025 version is obviously more expensive, but I got the 2023 Lenovo tablet in January, and it has become like, I haven't touched my Switch, my DS, my Vita. I haven't touched those in months because I've got this tablet. I'm reading books again because of this tablet. I love my Lenovo tablet. I would run into a burning building to save it. It has become almost one of my primary gaming devices. Like, for about a month, I barely gamed on the PC. I was gaming on the tablet, playing Diablo and a few other games. This is a lovely tablet that you can do so much with. It's not just for gaming. You can like read books and surf the web, and it's great for watching videos and stuff. It's one of our more expensive outings here, about $600. Oh, I wonder if you can get it on. Hang on. When I did this research, you can no longer get it on AliExpress because they were not shipping to the US. So that's why I got Giztop here. Let's take a look. Hang on.
The joys of doing this live.
Yeah. So yeah, when I did this research, you could no longer buy it on. I got mine on AliExpress shortly before the tariffs jumped in. Oh, you can buy it now if you live in America. That's good. Around the same price. Oh, it's a little more expensive. Well, hang on. Let's see. Hang on. So this is. I don't care about. Hang on. Oh wait, do we not have a storage option? Oh, this might be another reason to get it on AliExpress if you want the 16 gig, 516 gig of RAM, 512 gig of drive space one. It's a little more expensive at $600 some, but absolutely, considering the one I have, I got the 16 gig, 512 version. I can't get enough of this thing. Whenever I go anywhere and there's going to be a bit of downtime, I take it with me. It's my one device now. Like, I haven't touched any other portable device in months because this thing has so many. Like, once I saw you could play Heroes of Might and Magic 3 on this thing, done. And all my DOS games, like, you wouldn't believe how much F-117 Stealth Fighter I've played on this thing. And Silent Service 2, and Red Storm Rising, and Starfleet 2. I've played so many DOS games on this thing. But it's also an emulation powerhouse. Like, I have emulated everything up to the PS2 on this thing. It's amazing. And I'm sure this one's even more powerful than the one I have. So I cannot talk enough about... Yeah, they don't give you an option. I wonder if they're out of the... I wonder if Giztop here is out of the more... the larger version. They only have, they only have the smaller, the smaller version. It's the only downside to this tablet, it's kind of heavy. But for gaming, it's like the perfect size for like a virtual stick and everything. Like I play a lot of PS2 games on it, like Burnout and whatnot, and the virtual controls are perfect because they're kind of off to the side, so they don't get in the way. I don't need to get a Jawbone or something for it because the size for portable gaming, I feel, is perfect. And it fits in any bag I have, and the battery life is great. You know what's another great thing about this particular tablet? It's got two USB-C slots. So you can have one for charging and one for plugging a USB-C headphone jack thing into. So you can use two different things. You have two slots, one on the bottom, one on the side. They work great. And another great thing this tablet has, if you're into gaming, it's got pass-through charging. So if you're connected to a charger, it'll just charge the device directly. It won't charge the battery. You know what I mean? it won't charge the battery. So you're not putting wear on the battery. You're not adding heat to the device. You're just charging the device directly. It works wonderfully. I've played many hours. Jose, hang on. Let me get it for you. Called VCMI, and it's a way to play the original Heroes of Might and Magic 3 on a variety of devices, not just your computer, but iOS, Linux, and Mac as well. If you guys like Heroes of Might and Magic 3, just get CMI. Seriously, it's amazing. I can't talk enough about how good playing here. I was just playing Heroes 3 on it last night on my tablet at the library and at home. But yeah, if you have you can play it on your phone too, but if you have a tablet, it's even better. So I can't recommend the Lenovo Legion enough, but if you don't want to go Lenovo, if you want a bigger company, apparently a lot of people love, it's a slightly larger, more expensive tablet, but a lot of people love the Galaxy Tab S10 Plus for gaming. Apparently it's a great gaming tablet. It's definitely a lot larger than the one I just talked about. The one I just talked about is 8.8 inches. This is 10 inches. And so if you want 512 gigs with it, it's about $1,000. So again, you're paying the price for a decent desktop computer right there for this tablet. But I wanted to include it because a lot of people who are into portable gaming. Oh, thank you, Chris. If you want to play Heroes 2, there's another way to do that on Android, FH Heroes 2. I prefer 3, but it's nice to have the option of either 2 or 3. But some people prefer 2. I don't know why. I think 3 is the better game. Here's a Might and Magic 3, but some people prefer 2. Okay, sure. I think one of the big reasons people prefer 2 is the music. The music for 2 is definitely better than 3. I will grant you that. But having the option to play Here's a Might and Magic 2 or 3 on your tablet is just a wonderful tablet game. Let me tell you. Excuse me. Yeah, the music for 2 I think is the best in the series, and I like them both. I prefer 3, but I like them both. 2 was here. I think Here's a Might and Magic 2 was maybe my second strategy game ever. So yeah, I have a soft spot for that one, but I prefer 3. But yeah, a lot of people love this relatively expensive, Samsung, and I have a Samsung phone. They make very good devices, very reliable, good battery life, lots of updates, good security. The downside to buying the Lenovo is you're buying, hang on. A caveat about the Lenovo, I forgot to mention this. So if you buy something on, I would recommend buying something on AliExpress because you're going to get the Chinese version. You're going to get the Chinese ROM. Now that might sound intimidating because it doesn't come with the Play Store, but it's very easy to set this to English and install the Play Store. It takes like 5 minutes. So even though it's coming from China directly, I think this is better because if you get something that says a worldwide ROM, it's basically a hacked version of the Chinese ROM that runs in English and already includes the Play Store. But that's not as good. Not as good. The Chinese version does come with Chinese apps, but they're very easy to install. It takes like 30 seconds. You can just remove them. It's easy. They're easy to remove. So if you're going to get a Lenovo, seek out a Chinese version from AliExpress, I would say, and get it on one of the reputable stores. I can tell you which one I got it from at some point if you want. But it took about 3 weeks for mine to arrive from China, and I love it so much. I use it every day, either to read or play something. Every day. Use it every day. Right now I'm reading a Discworld novel on it and playing Heroes of Might and Magic 3 on it. And I can do that everywhere. Oh my God. I love this device so much. All right. Anyway, where were we? All right. So we talked about the Samsung tablet. Hey, what's this, Chris? What is this? Oh, look at that. Oh, I've heard of this. I've heard of this Delta Touch thing where you could play Doom and whatnot. I am going to try that. I am definitely going to try that. after the show. We'll get back to that. All right. So we've talked about all the Android devices. Now, iOS has its own gaming ecosystem that apparently is very good. A lot of people love to game on iOS devices. I had an iPhone once, and I gamed a lot on it. It was actually really good. So for gaming, if you're gonna game on an iPhone, the iPhone 16 Pro is the one to get. It's the biggest one. So you get the best screen, the best on-screen controls, that sort of thing. It's the most expensive, obviously, but definitely, if you're going to do iOS gaming on your phone, just get the biggest if you can afford it, because a lot of people love to game on their iOS devices. And I got to give credit. iOS is a good gaming ecosystem. You know, I'm not in it, but I know a lot of people who game on their iOS device and love it. Sure. But if I was going to get an iOS device to game on, it would be the iPad. Probably the iPad Pro. It is their most powerful. It's expensive. It is so expensive, but it is a very powerful device that can play so many games. And there's emulation now on iOS as well. That's a relatively new thing. So you're not solely locked into the iOS gaming ecosystem anymore. You can actually get emulators for iOS now. So you're not locked in anymore. And from what I've read, there is an iPad mini that apparently is about the size of the Lenovo tablet I just showed you, but it's not as powerful as this one. It's also not as expensive. This thing is pretty big. But apparently people love it for gaming. Oh, wow. Assassin's Creed? Really? Look at that. Apparently people love it for gaming. If I was going to get an iPad, I'd probably get either this or the mini. If I wanted to go into the iOS ecosystem, which I do not, no interest whatsoever in that. I mean, there's something to be said for having a device that quote unquote just works. My wife is an absolute Apple aficionado. She got the iPhone, her laptop is the most powerful computer in the house. She got a powerful Apple laptop like a year ago. It's more powerful than either my desktop or my laptop. It's a beast of a laptop, and she loves it. That's her primary computer, and she loves it. I'm trying to convince her to get an iPad because because we have so many books. I think it would benefit. I'm getting so much use out of my tablet. I think she would get use out of one as well. So I'm trying to convince her to get one, and she might get one for herself as like a graduating master's school present, master's degree present. But yeah, a lot of people love gaming on their iPad from what I could read. So if you're going to stick with the iOS ecosystem, I would say the iPad's probably a better way to go for gaming because of its bigger screen, more real estate, probably better on-screen controls. I don't know how good it is for long-term gaming because it's a big device. That's why I would probably get the mini if I was going to get one because it's more portable. What software do you use to read? Well, it depends. Chris, since you asked, I've got three. I've got five apps to read. I've got Moonreader Pro to read PDFs. I've got Kindle to read Kindle books. I've got a library with Rakuten Kobo, so I've been using that. That's where a lot of my Discworld books are. And for comics, I have both C Display X EX for comics that I download from like Humble and whatnot, and IDW because I've got a lot of IDW comics. So I basically got 5 reading apps on this thing. The ones I use most are Moonreader Pro for a lot of PDF game manuals and strategy guides. And I switch back and forth between Kindle and Kobo depending on what I'm reading. Like right now I'm reading a Discworld novel. So I'm on Kobo. But before that, I was reading the Black Company novel, the first Black Company novel, and that's on Kindle for me. So I jump back and forth. But Moonreader is great for PDFs. But they're also very different storefronts. So Oh, you have an actual Kobo device. Okay, yeah, I know a lot of people love their Kobo devices. I don't see the reason to get a separate like e-reader when I have this tablet. You know what I mean? I know a lot of people love them, but yeah, I don't see the need. So I think that's everything. Yeah, that's all the devices I had researched for portable gaming. There are a lot of them. And again, these will all be listed on the basegamejunkie.com site for this particular podcast episode. They'll all be listed there. You can just click on them. So there are a lot of options, whether you want a game on Linux or Windows or Android or iOS. There are a lot of options, and they're all over the place price-wise, from $100 to $1,000, all over the place. I personally like my tablet because it's a multi-use device. I can read on it, I can play on it, surf the web on it. So I prefer my tablet. But some people prefer physical controls for their devices, which is fine. I like that too. But I'm finding the on-screen controls for this size tablet are just absolutely perfect for me. But going through these options, you should find. I'm guessing there's one here that would fit your bill. You know what I mean? One of these would click for you, like the Flip did for Thorsten. I was like, oh my god, I need that. Thorsten, if you get a Flip, you gotta tell us how it is. I'd be insanely curious to find out how much you like it, because I know people who have it and they just can't stop singing its praises. So that is good. Does that my co-host, do you guys have any questions or anything to add before we wrap up?
Nope.
Okay.
No.
I'm good.
Okay, yeah. So hopefully this is pretty comprehensive. We covered a lot of ground today. Next week on the show, we're going to talk about the actual emulators themselves. Most of them are going to be Android because that's where a lot of them are. But there are some iOS emulators as well. We'll also talk about some things like some source ports like VCMI that we talked about earlier. There are source ports that let you play things like Doom and Here's Might and Magic and Diablo, the original Diablo, and a few other things. So we'll talk about that too. That falls under emulation. And then in 2 weeks, Profits Willing, we'll talk about the best mobile like space games, because there are a lot of them. And so we're going to have basically 3 weeks of kind of mobile gaming. I mean, you can emulate stuff on your desktop too, but that's not what we're going to be talking about. So yeah, that's going to do it for today. Thanks for hanging out with us. Great chat. Great chat today. I think, man, my brain is melting. I need lunch. Be safe, be well, everyone. Please take care of each other. Please get your shots. If you haven't already, get your vaccines. And I don't mean just COVID, all of them, flu, shingles, whatever, get them all. Make sure you're vaccinated for everything, because we don't know what's coming, you guys. We don't know what's coming, especially here in America. We don't know what's coming. I mean, the next thing might be worse than COVID. We don't know. So be prepared. Thank you, as always, to our patrons who help pay for things like Restream, which allows us to chat with each other on different services. Don't forget to check out Retro Dogfight, my new podcast. Episode 2 just came out a little bit ago, where we talk about Lucasfilm flight sims. And don't forget to wear your helmet. We'll see you back here tomorrow for some Jumpgate, y'all.